Go ahead. You got your question now, bro? All right.
Shalom Nation, Most High in Christ bless. So in Revelation 13:17 about the mark, I was wondering if Psalms 119, 60, 61 gives kind of insight to it, because like the laws that are gonna come into place, they're not gonna allow us to buy or sell from these companies. You know what I'm saying? Like certain companies they might like not allow, or they might be more stronger than
119 what?
119, 61.
61?
Yes, sir.
Sure. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 60. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
119, verse 61.
You said chapter 119?
Yeah, just read on. Just read on.
61. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law.
Oh, you was talking about, like, say, 2nd Ezra 16, 72, 69? That's what you're talking about? All right, come on with it.
Yeah, it was 119, 61.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question, or what you were saying, what you were asking was, what does that precept with? I think you gave
Revelation 13 to 17.
right. So I would say 2nd Ezra 16, 69. Personally, not so much Revelations. Go to Revelations 13, 17.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Revelation
Well, he
13,
was
17.
Yeah, he was saying 17.
You say, okay, 17.
Yeah, 13,
Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
All right, go back to Psalms.
The reason why I tied it in was because bands means companies. And like, so like they're robbing you, like they're gonna fine you because you teach on the streets, or like they find out about that. So, you know what I mean? They take away your money. So like they robbing you for real.
Right. That would be a stretch to teach. Essentially, the entire Bible is connected. But I would precept that with go to 2nd Ezra chapter 16. I'm gonna show you what as far as if we're talking about warring, if we're talking about a battle on the streets, this is what I would precept that with. 72. Yeah.
2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 72.
No, that's
Except
not
verse
what
70?
I want. I wanted verse 68.
Verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
So what did David say in Psalms 119:61?
That the wicked gonna rob him.
No. Go back. Hold this. We're gonna come right back. I'm gonna show you.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 61. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law.
So he says, I have not forgotten thy law, right? So watch it. Why would he say forgotten thy law?
I'm just remember.
Because I'm going to give you a hint. Because it's a time, or I'm going to help you out. It's a time where the law will be forgotten commonly. So David is saying, I, as a representation of Israel, the righteous, will not, even in these times, forget the law. It's the reason why I'm saying this. Read on, watch this. And I'm sorry, we're back at 2nd Ezra. We're going to have to do this, so I can help him out real fast.
2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 68.
Yes, sir.
For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you,
Uh-huh.
and they shall take away certain of you.
Now, they're going to take away certain of us, right? And that takeaway is also going into giving you something else to do. Understanding and knowing you're the Israelites. You're supposed to be, just like, remember, Bishop went to First Maccabees chapter 1. He didn't read it, though. We moved on about Eleazar. Remember what they did to Eleazar?
Yes, sir.
They gave him, tried to compel him to just, look, man, just go ahead, just eat a little bit of pork. Matter of fact, just act like you eating it. You understand? That's being taken away. You understand? Not to mention they actually took him by force to proposition him in that way, right? But this is what David is going into. This is what we're reading about in 2nd Ezra, right? Watch this. Read on.
And they shall take away certain of you and feed you.
And feed you, just like Eleazar. And feed you, but watch who they feed. Eleazar resisted, right?
Yes, sir.
Because he was like David. He did not forget, even in that time, the laws of God. But watch this. He said, they will feed certain of you. Watch this.
Being idle.
Being what?
Idle.
Being forgetful of the law. Not caring about the law. It not being the apple of your eye, but rather the lusts and sins of this world that you maybe always wanted to deal with, that you never really put away from yourself when you had the comfort to. Like right now, we got comfort to work on ourselves. Like I was speaking about Bishop's class, that graph he made, that we all need to take inventory of ourselves, what we really battling with, because that's the idols they're going to tempt you and feed you and carry you away with in these days. What you battle with. It might not, it's different for everybody. Trust me, he got your flavor. Watch this, read.
With things offered unto idols.
Come on.
And they that consent unto them.
And they that what?
Consent.
Consent ain't force. That's not force. You accepted it. That's why David is saying in those times, I ain't going to forget your law. I'm going to fight. You was caught up being idle. But even if being caught up, hey, look, you better repent. You better fight. You better tell them, no, I just take my death. Like the sister and her sons in 2nd Maccabees chapter 7. You understand?
Yes, sir.
This is why I'm saying I would link this. This parallels. You know what I mean? Read on.
And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision.
Had in derision. You know what derision means?
No, sir.
It means to ridicule. So who's going to be ridiculing them?
Who exactly? The ones that don't consent?
Well, what is it saying? Who shall be had in derision? Those that consent will be had in derision. Those that don't repent, that eat those things offered to idols, and the things that you're offered, the sin that you're offered, right? Those that consent and do those sins shall be had in derision. Derision being scorned, talked about, little thought of. You understand? Like we would call derision today, you getting roasted. You getting fried, in Virginia. You getting fried. You getting talked about. Nobody thinks highly of you. You understand? That's derision. So who shall have them in derision?
Us.
And who else?
God and the angels.
No, we judges. We don't just roast. When we roast people, it's all in fun. We all laugh with each other when we roast. But it says they shall be had in derision. It's talking about what? Them same people. This is painting a picture. These people sitting around idle are in agreement with this world. And even though you're in agreement with this world, you will have the same, no less of a judgment in this world, in this life, than those who've been out here fighting and warring for the souls of God's people. That's the derision. Esau's still going to hate you. You still going to be like, let me give you a good example. Like, let's say like in school, like a social dynamic, right? You got that guy, he's always trying to be cool with the in crowd. And everybody just talk about him, and he's a nobody, even in that in crowd. And he just takes it. He just accepts it. You understand? Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
what is that called? Like, what's the term for that? I call it like a butt boy, or like Yeah, that would be a technical term for it. What did you call it? A L7? A flunky? I know that word, a square. That's what this is. We don't have each other in derision. We don't talk. When we talk about each other, we'll just judge. Yo, bro, you in the midst of sin. You better cut that shit. That's not no joke to us. That's not derision. You understand? And we gonna forget until the memorial of everybody that failed this thing of our people. Everybody. You'll be a memorial. Every year, we'll take our children and we'll just say, don't do what they did. Don't look what happened to them. Fear God. Right?
Right.
So you got to understand the picture that's being painted here. You understand? Read it again from verse 69.
Verse 69, and they that consent
That's
unto
the
them.
key right there. And they that consent unto them. You made the choice. And they that consent unto them
shall be had in derision.
Come on.
And in reproach.
And in reproach, read.
And trodden underfoot.
And trodden underfoot by those same people. Read.
For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection.
A great insurrection. Come on.
Upon those that fear the Lord.
Right. So when you're reading Psalms, thank you. When you're reading Psalms chapter 119, verse 61, that's what I would parallel that with. All right?
Yeah, Captain.
Especially if you're dealing with a person who's like you're trying to teach somebody. All right? Yes, sir.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.